And good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? It's your boy, Heaven Hollywood. The Heaven Hollywood Experience. Coming to you live from Heaven Hollywood Studios. It is March 4th, 2025. It is 12:43 p.m. in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. What's up, Sexy 60? Got a lot to discuss today, mainly niggers. Whew. It's lunchtime, bitches. So, the industry at noon, back in effect here on the Heaven Hollywood Experience. We're going to go over a few topics. You know, the main topic of the day is that Jay-Z, we're going to go over this lawsuit. Jay-Z is suing the Jane Doe. Suing the Jane Doe. Once again, I said suing. 944 in Cali. Okay, Sexy 60. Once again, I said suing. Shout out to everybody on Twitter. Shout out to everybody on Twitch. Shout out to everybody watching on Facebook. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube. This whole Jay-Z thing has gone crazy. Drake settles out with iHeartRadio, but it's not what people think. All of the Drake fans ran to say, see, Drake was telling the truth. I still believe he's telling the truth about the Universal thing, but however, this settlement that he has with iHeartRadio does not really have anything to do with that. All right. Of course, we still are mourning the death of Angie Stone, neo-soul singer, very known neo-soul singer. I don't want to say legendary because we make everybody a legend when they pass away. But when they're alive, we don't treat them like a legend. We don't see their numbers numbering. We don't see people playing their music. We don't see people attending their concerts. If there was a legend, right? If you're a legend and you go live on Instagram, you're not going to have just 50 people in your live. That's not a legend, right? If Madonna goes live, best believe she's going to have more than 50 people. Right? Hell, I have 50 people in my life. So how is Angie? So like I said, I'm not going to talk evil of the dead, but I'm also not going to sit here. And one thing I hate more than anything is people start tap dancing and capping because somebody's not here anymore. Angie Stone was not a legend. She was an OG. Right? Now, the only thing that may make her a legend is not her singing, her R&B singing. A lot of people don't know that Angie Stone is actually Angie B from the Sequence. So because she is from the Sequence, which is the first female rap group ever assembled, maybe I can buy legend because of that. But not a legend because of what most people know her for, and that is her R&B and her neo-soul singing. But people tend to make everybody a legend when they pass away. right? And we don't want to do that. We don't want to be fake about it, right? We don't want to be fake about it. It's one thing that I can't stand. I don't like fakeness. You know what I mean? I don't like tap dancing. I don't like people saying, "Oh yeah, you know, just because they passed away, now all of a sudden." You know what I mean? I don't like stuff like that. Because if she was a legend, if you thought she was a legend, why didn't you support her? Right? If you really thought she was a legend, why didn't you support her? If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Make sure that you like the stream coming into the room, please. Like the stream coming into the room. Like the stream coming into the room. Right? So I see a lot of people making videos and they're like, "Oh yeah, legendary singer Angie Stone," right? And I'm like, "Come on, y'all. Legendary singer Angie Stone? You want to say veteran singer? You want to say OG, right? You want to say known or whatever the case may be. I don't really think that she can be, as far as R&B music goes, I don't really think you can say, "Oh, legendary singer," because the facts are the young lady did a live right before, what, a couple of months before she passed away. And she couldn't even, she was struggling to get 50 people in the live. Right? That's not legendary status. You know what I'm saying? And I remember watching it, because I remember watching, and thank you, Darius. And make sure y'all smash that like button coming in. And I remember watching her live and saying, "Damn, she can't get 50 people in here." Right? I'm like, what an insult. Right? What an insult. She can't get 50 people in her live? So when people are going around talking about, you know, Angie Stone was a legend, and oh my God, my favorite Angie Stone song. What up, Burning Day? What up, Crimson? Sexy Six, did she ever win a Grammy? I believe she was Grammy nominated. Has Angie Stone ever won a Grammy?
Yes, Angie Stone was nominated for the Grammy Award for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals for Baby in 2008, was nominated for the Grammy Award for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance for U-Haul in 2005, and was nominated for the Grammy Award for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals for More Than a Woman.
Okay, that's not what I asked you.
2003.
She did not win. She didn't win, so no. She has 3 nominations and she never won a Grammy, but she was Grammy nominated. All right? She never won one. And the purpose of this is not to try to crap on Angie Stone and her legacy. The purpose of me doing that is calling out all the fakes and phonies that probably helped put her into the position that she was in when she passed away. Right? Like if you are letting people think that, don't worry about them, you the S, like, you know what I mean? Like you that chick. Yeah, you that chick, and you letting them think that they're that chick. Meanwhile, their royalties ain't right. Meanwhile, their contract ain't right. The Grammy isn't a measure of success to me. Well, Pam, I understand what you're saying, but it's kind of like when I think of the Grammys, I kind of think of the same way I think of the Oscars and the championship ring in basketball, right? Allen Iverson was a great basketball player. Allen Iverson was a transcending basketball player, but he never won a championship. So he's going to get looked upon different than the greats who have won a championship. So while having a Grammy doesn't define whether you're a great singer or not, it does get you in rooms that people who have not won Grammys can't get into. It's kind of like the championship rings. Like if like Charles Barkley was a great basketball player. He's an all-time great. But every single time he's in an argument with Shaquille O'Neal, what's the first thing Shaq always run to? You don't know, you shut up. You never won a championship. Me and King won a championship, but you ain't know what championship. You don't know what I'm talking about. You have never won. You ain't know what championship, so you don't know what you're talking about. Me and Kenny won a championship. You don't know what it's like to win. So every single time that they have an argument, Shaq always ends the argument with, you ain't never win no championships. You don't know what you're talking about. Right? So that's the way I look upon Grammys, Oscars. If they say, well, she's a great actress, but she never won an Oscar, she's going to be looked upon different. She's not going to be looked upon as the same thing as Sophie's Choice. Why? I never can remember this woman's name. I always say Sophie's Choice. Y'all can remind me of her name again. Who's the one with all the Oscars? Blonde hair lady that played in Sophie's Choice. Her. But the only reason that I would call Angie Stone a legend is not because of her R&B prowess. It is because she was in the first female rap group ever, which is the Sequence, when she was Angie B. So to me, that's why I would consider her a legend. But I'm just not the one to throw that legend status around, because if that's the case, we gonna call everybody legends when they pass away. And that's just, to me, just not something that should be thrown around, right? God forbid Maya pass away. Are we gonna say, oh, Maya was a legend? Like, if that's the case, that everybody, Jill Scott passed away, they're gonna say Jill Scott was a legend, right? You have to separate. Like, if Jill Scott is a legend, then what's Beyonce? Like, are they equal? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you call Beyonce is known as a legend, right? So Beyonce passed away and Jill Scott passed away, they're equal. We gonna be calling everybody legends? I mean, if you want to, you can go ahead. I just don't give it up like that. Right? I just don't give it up like that. That's like, the same way I look at basketball. And again, if y'all look at it different, that's fine. That's on y'all. I just don't look at it that way. I don't allow death to skew my thoughts on someone that I would have if they was alive. It was the same thing with Nipsey Hussle. Oh, Nipsey, the legend. Oh, one of the greatest of all time. No, he wasn't. At least not to me, he wasn't. And when he passed away, all of a sudden he got more popular. But when he was alive, I'm gonna be honest. I can't name 2 Nipsey Hussle songs. I can't name 2 Nipsey Hussle songs. And that's the God honest truth. And I listen to a lot of hip hop. I've been around much longer than a lot of people that follow hip hop or that's on the YouTube space or whatever, right? And I will guarantee you, before he passed away, I had never heard a Nipsey Hussle song. But then when he passed away, we started hearing about how he was better than Tupac. He was more legendary than Tupac. Like, really? Okay. But I will say, because she was in the sequence, and a lot of people don't even know that until they Googled it. They were, oh yeah, did you know she was in the sequence? Nah, nigga, you didn't even know. You just found out. Right? So, me personally, because of that, I wouldn't have any problem with somebody calling her legend. But if she was not in the sequence, and this is only to me, it's only my opinion. If she wasn't in the sequence, I would not consider her a legend. Because where does it stop? God forbid something happened to Heather Headley. She had a couple of hot songs. She a legend too? Monifa. She had a hot song. Is she a legend if she passed away? So, I mean, it's like, teach his own. Like, people want to qualify people as legends or whatever. That's up to them. But I'm just giving my opinion. But because of her being in the group to sequence, and according to her, she wrote Panto, jump on that. Now, remember, the Sugar Hill Gang did that record, but according to Miss Angie Stone, she said Sequence wrote that record. And that record lived on, and they still played in the club, and people do the little dance to it. So that record had relevancy long after the recording of it, right? So that in itself is something legendary, because that song has went on for so long, right? If you go to my No BS today, you're going to see a video that I did about I'll Be Sure. And let me find this dude, man. Angie Stone's family is upset at I'll Be Sure, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Okay? Rightfully so. Now, this dude, man, and I told y'all a long time ago about this weirdo, right? I've told y'all a long time ago about this weirdo and all of his, ever since the Diddy thing, and how he's been trying to put, y'all make sure y'all smash the like button coming in the door, please. Right? How he has been trying to make it seem to people ever since the Diddy situation, right? He's trying to make himself relevant. Now, I'll Be Sure, as we know, are we calling him a legend? Let me stop messing. Now, I'll be sure, as we know, long-time R&B singer, was really, really big in the early 90s, right? I would say late 80s, early 90s. I'll be sure, I think, came out in the late 80s. Um, and we know that whole situation with Kim Porter, Diddy. He made it seem as though, he tried to insinuate that Diddy was the reason that he was in a coma. He was dropping those tea leaves or those breadcrumbs or whatever, that Diddy had something to do with him being in a coma. And we're going to find out. And, you saying those things, right? Now, if anybody watches my series, Industry Stories, y'all will know my first interaction with Al B. Sure, and my first time ever being around Al B. Sure happened when he was on the receiving end of Diddy pretty much punching him in his face. Now, as I always like to say, from that day forward, I really didn't like Al B. Sure, because I'm like, bro, you're like not a small guy. Puffy wasn't even Puffy yet at this point, right? Diddy wasn't Diddy yet. He was still Puff Daddy. And this is really before Biggie even really blew up. So it's not like he had the Puff Daddy power, the Diddy power that he had, in the mid-2000s, right? But this dude walks into, I believe the club at the time was called the T-Bone or the T-Spot. It was called something. The name has switched, since changed. I believe it got changed to Guest House or something. But I'll be sure went in that club. We were there for Rolanda Watts' birthday. And I always tell people, if you want to confirm this story, don't listen to me. Go ask Rolanda Watts. She's on Instagram. And ask her, did Al B. Sure come to her birthday party in 94? I'm going to say it was 93, 94, right? And Al B. Sure walked into this party. Now, him and Kim had already had the kid. Kid was already born. But she was now with Diddy. And Diddy pretty much saw Al B. Sure come through the door. Al B. Sure's coming up to the VIP because at the time, a lot of people didn't realize, but he was messing with Rolanda Watts, right? She was a news anchor from New York that all the men wanted in the later early 90s, Rolanda Watts, right? You can look her up. All the men started watching Eyewitness News because Rolanda Watts was on there. Al B. Sure walks in, goes up to the VIP. In that VIP at that time was Puffy, Father MC, SWV, because Puffy at this time was on the low smashing Coco from SWV. So SWV was there. Children of the Corn, which is Cam, Mace, there was another Big L, was Big L in Children of the Corn. So at this time, Cam and Mace wasn't out yet. They were still Children of the Corn. Mace's name was Murder Mace. Cam was Killer Cam. And then they had, I believe, a dude named Cordan in it. And I believe Big L was in it. I think that was in Children of the Corn at the time. They were there. Of course, Rolanda Watts, it's her birthday party. Me and my brother, couple of Rolanda Watts friends, right? So, and then Kim Porter comes in. She didn't come in with Puffy, but Kim Porter ends up showing there later with, I'll say, two of her friends. So I'll Be Sure walks in, strutting in, and somehow or another, he starts strutting over to Diddy. Diddy probably calls him over to him or whatever. He starts strutting over to Diddy. They exchange maybe like 3-4 words, and all of a sudden, I hear this. Now remember, we're in the VIP, so we're kind of separated, right? And it was not yet packed, right? All you hear is this. Next thing you know, you see this scramble. I'll Be Sure's glasses flew off. And Diddy said, ever disrespect me? You ever disrespect me, Playboy? I don't know if he was saying Playboy back then. He may have said the N-word, but you ever disrespect me? You don't know who you dealing with. And then they kind of like broke it up or whatever. And I'll Be Sure got upset, left out of there. Right? Now, you might believe that though. My thing is whatever you got to say, just say it or shut the F up. Right. He might believe that though. Okay. All right. And I agree. Christian Keys did the same thing. Y'all threaten and get people riled up in what you can expose and say a bunch of nothing. I agree. So let me tell y'all, I just wanted to bring y'all up on why I never liked I'll Be Sure. But this is the reason why I'll Be Sure is getting criticized by the family of Angie Stone, of the late Angie Stone. I'll Be Sure decided to go to Instagram, right? And I'll Be Sure, as usual, wants to insert himself now into the death of Angie Stone. Right? So let me change my banner. Let me change my banner and say, I'll Be Sure dragged. Right? I'll Be Sure dragged. So here goes I'll Be Sure. I can't really gather my own thoughts at the moment. Let me talk in I'll Be Sure voice. I can't really gather my own thoughts at the moment to say anything close to describing the profoundly brave and amazing woman my sister Angie Stone was. So I'll just let Angie say it to you in all our last texts to each other. And then, so you figure he's setting you up for the screenshots, right? But does I'll Be Sure present the screenshots? No. What he presents is transcribed conversation. This is a transcribed conversation. This is not actually the screenshots of the actual text. Okay? So here he goes. Hey, hun, it's Angie Stone. So now, check this out. If this is your last text, right? And if y'all text each other all the time, and she starts with, hey, hun, it's Angie Stone. If y'all text each other, wouldn't you know that it's Angie Stone? That's the first thing. And if you have not texted in a long time, and she wants to say, and she's not sure it's you, wouldn't she say something along the lines of, hey, Al, is this still your number? Right? Am I right or wrong? Y'all put a 1 if you agree, and y'all put a 2 if you think I'm reaching. And I'm making too big of a deal of it. 1 if you agree with what I just said. 2 if you're like, nah, have you reaching? That's not that big of a deal. But all I know is if I am texting somebody, right? If I'm texting somebody and I know it's them, right? I'm not going to text him just like I just text my boy Terrence. Perfect example. I just text my boy Terrence yesterday, the first time we really talked in a couple of months. And I said, yo, T, what up, man? You good? Right? I didn't say, yo, T, yo, it's heaven, man. Right? Pam said, I don't always agree. But that's going to change. That's going to change. That's going to change, man. So, yeah. I didn't say, yo, T, man, yo, it's Hev. He said a full name. It's Angie Stone. Not even, yo, it's Angie. Like the way he said, my sister. Right? So she says, hey, hun, it's Angie Stone. Reaching out. Right? Reaching out. Now, let me tell you why this first thing sounds sus. So listen to this. Hey, hun, it's Angie Stone reaching out to Out. Please give me a call ASAP. A lot of stuff happening regarding this transplant situation. So, to me, I have 2 possible donors, but they are discriminating against blacks. Now, it's been 5 years. Now, time out. Time out. To me, her saying it's Angie Stone and then saying about this transplant situation. So to me, it's coming across like y'all 2 have discussed this before. Or else how would he know about this transplant situation? What transplant? Liver? Kidney? Heart? What transplant? So obviously, right. So obviously, y'all must have talked, or else how else would she think that you know about the transplant? Right? So she is reaching out to you and she says, hey, hon, it's Angie Stone. Now, if she hasn't reached out in a long time, wouldn't she say, hey, Al, is this still your number? That would probably be the first thing she said. Me, if I haven't hit somebody up, perfect example, right? My friend Tina, I have not spoken to her in probably 4 years, right? She lives in Chicago. I found an old number in my old iPhone. So I said, oh shit, let me see if this is Tina's number. So I didn't say, hey Tina, what's up? I gotta give some information about these video situation. No, the first thing I said was, hey T, this still your number? And in fact, came out that it wasn't, right? So if you haven't spoken to somebody in so long, how do you know that number is still the same? Especially being a celebrity, especially if people have been after him, right? You would think that his number would definitely have changed, since everybody's after I'll be sure. I've never heard all that. Let's get on with it. It's been discriminating against blacks. It's been 5 years. Hey there, Queen. Glad to hear from you. I'm on the plane and will touch base with you as soon as I touch down. Right? Okay, King. I wanted to let you know that I have 2 donors. 1 O and 1 O positive. Family members and trying to get some clearance on getting the transplant done because they're discriminating against blacks of a certain age. Right? I'm leery to deal with the hospital system here. So I was reaching out to you to see if there's something or someone you can suggest to help me get this done. It's been 5 years now. I'm well overdue. Blood work is excellent, and I'm just waiting now. Call me when you get a moment to chop it up with me. I've been praying hard for you. Now, do I believe that conversation happened? Yes. I believe she said, I wanted to let you know that to 2 donors, O and O positive, family members are trying to get some clearance on getting the transplant done because they're discriminating, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just waiting. Call me when you get a moment to chop it up with me. Now, they're having a conversation. They're having a conversation, right? About Angie. How did you know that somehow or another, I'll be sure would find a way to get in him, Diddy, and Kim Porter? Right? You just knew he would find a way. So what happens? I've been praying hard for you ever since all this foolishness you've been saying for years finally been exposed. And he going down. Right? Let me say it again. I've been praying hard for you since all this foolishness you've been saying for years. Got to make sure he gets that in. You've been saying for years has been going and getting exposed, and he going down. I didn't realize just how much craziness you had actually gone through, and it's so unfortunate. Know that I'm praying for you and supporting you on everything that you got going on. Right? Now, did she say that part? I didn't realize just how much craziness you've been going through, and it's unfortunate. You know that I'm praying for you and supporting everything that's going on? Maybe. But then here comes this. I pray that your son, Quincy, and yourself lock horn again, and he walks away from that whole ratchet situation. I don't believe for 1 minute Angie Stone said that. I don't believe for 1 minute. I don't believe it. That is the sounds of Al B. Shore. Because he said something like that before. Ratchet. Oh, they're ratchet. That's Al B. Shore's words. I don't think Angie Stone said that. Just my opinion. I don't have proof that she didn't, but I don't have proof that she did either. Because these are not screenshots. Right? If these were screenshots of the text, then I can say, okay, she said it. But these are transcribable conversation. Now, why bring up Quincy? I'll tell you why I'll be sure Quincy brought up. Because he wants to seem to everybody like, see, even she knows that I'm a good father. Even she wishes that me and Quincy can lock horns. And what he wants to do is put that out there so maybe Quincy will see it and he can say, yeah, Angie's last wishes was for me to speak with my biological father. That's Angie Stone's last wishes, right? Pam said, this doesn't sound right. My business services down to the kidney transplant patients. You literally get a call when there's one available and you have to drop everything and go. Quincy made his position clear. He needs to make peace with that. I agree. So, he says, as the whole world knows, he deserves to be with his biological father at this time. Quincy is a grown man, and he has made his choice of where he wants to be. So she's making it seem like Quincy's a child, right? He deserves to be with his biological father. Wait a minute. If he deserves that, that's what he'll choose to do. Quincy's not a child. They act as though like they got courts or something, or they have a conservatorship keeping Quincy away from Albie Shore. What do you mean he deserves to be with his biological father at this time? I know that Kim is resting in paradise. She is born a couple of days before me, so I know her spirit well. I know how she rolled. And I can assure you that she's been the one assisting you from the other side. Here we go. So Kim Porter, who her and Albie Shore was not even on great terms. Albie Shore wants to make it seem to people like they were on such great terms. Albie Shore, she was just, what's the word that starts with a C? She was just, when you want cordial. She was just cordial with you because y'all share a son. Kim Porter was not checking for you like that. Y'all was not on the brinks of getting back together. Y'all was not creeping around. Kim Porter had not been romantically involved with Albie Shore in years. Over 20 years. Right? She had not been involved with Albie Shore in years. Right. Exactly. I know she's assisting you from the other side. Right? Says, be blessed and know that I'm here for you no matter what. Peace and blessings, King. Hey there, Queen, called you. I'm back on the ground. Good until 5 p.m. and will be available for you. Letter, of course. Let's go, L. Let's go, love you. I'm on deck for you, Queen. Love you too. And thank you, babe. I'm sitting in dialysis right now. Okay. Well, needless to say, when Angie Stone's family saw that, she was not pleased. I mean, they were not pleased. And they basically told Albie Shore, man, you couldn't wait to do that? She hasn't even been dead 24 hours. And you're putting her business out there? Because not everybody knew. Not everybody knew about Angie Stone being in dialysis. Did she say that? I don't ever remember her saying that. If she did, my mistake. But I don't recall her talking about a transplant, and neither did her family, because that's the reason why they said something. Angie Stone's cousin came on social media, or alleged cousin, and really went in on I'll Be Sure. She said, I'm Angie Stone's cousin, and her family is not feeling what you're saying. And they don't appreciate the timing. Right? So I'll Be Sure has not responded to that yet. He took it down. He took down the thing from his story. And I'm sure he'll start up by saying, oh, no, never my intentions, blah, 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 me and Angie, so and so and so. Just like he tried to make it seem as though that him and Kim Porter was still married at the time of her death. He said, my wife. Yes, I said my wife. That was not your wife, bro, when she died. Kim Porter was not your wife because she was trying to marry Puffy. She was not your wife at the time of death, bro. Stop saying that. But what he was doing was gaslighting people so people can say that wasn't his business to tell and wasn't even the cause of her death. Right. Exactly. Exactly. So my point being is, I'll Be Sure is still as a clout chaser. He wants to make sure now he's got so much mouth now that Diddy is locked up, and Diddy will probably never get out. So I'll Be Sure is starting to feeling froggy now. Like, oh, yeah, this, and he's saying all these things because he knows it's a 90% chance that Diddy will never see daylight again. And even if he does, there's going to be so many people watching him. He pretty much knows that there's going to be no way Diddy's going to be able to touch him. That's the thing came out with. So now he wants to talk smack. But you were getting smacked up in that party. But you want to talk smack now that Diddy's locked up and probably will never see the light of day. Right? Your son has seen these comments. And remember what he put up? Remember the comment he put up? Remember he went to see Diddy? Remember the video at his birthday? Happy birthday, Pop. Happy birthday, Dad. Quincy, he'll take pictures with you, but he never refers to you as dad. Maybe his father, but he does not consider you his dad because you were not there for him. And what you try to do is you try to gaslight the whole world into making them think that you weren't around him because Kim said, oh, I beg you to stay away because he might harm you. So he wants to make it seem as though Kim begged him to stay away from Quincy because she was afraid that Diddy would harm I'll Be Sure if he came around. Right? So Kim Porter, before she passed away, her and I'll Be Sure had a cordial relationship. You didn't see pictures of them all hugged up. Like I said, there was a friendship, but they had not been intimate or sexual for 2 decades. Right? And meaning because Al B. Sure pretty much did Kim Porter dirty when he got her pregnant. He allegedly told her he's not so sure the kid is his. She'd been smashing so many different men. And remember, he was cheating on Kim with Madonna's dancer, who ended up he was dating. I don't know whether he had a baby. He had a baby on her. I don't think they got a kid together. But the one who was dancing with Madonna for years, he was dating her and he cheated on her with Kim Porter. Then he went out and cheated on Kim Porter with several other women. So Kim Porter was hurt because she was pregnant by Al B. Sure. But Al wants to make it seem as though he was true blue, and it's because of Diddy that Diddy came in and got into the middle. Right? But the word on the street was Al B. Sure was too busy running the streets and he wasn't ready to be no father. Because he did the same thing to his other kids. I believe he had 2 kids before Quincy. I believe he had 2 kids or at least 1 before Quincy. Right? Now, this damn hair, I know it's killing me. Whoa. All right. What's up? What's up? See, I don't ever hear about them kids. Right. He just wants to concentrate on Quincy because Quincy's the one that's going to give him clout. He's got an Al B. Sure Jr., right? He's got another, and he never talks about them. And they never talk about him, right? He's got another kid with this dark skin girl. I believe she was a dancer or something like that. He's also got a kid with her. And when he shows up at the kids' events, they're like, until he goes and takes a picture with the kid, like you never see him with his kids. You go on his Instagram or whatever, you never see him with his kids. Diddy, you always seen Diddy with Quincy, like Quincy was one of his sons. And he raised Quincy as a son. And he gave Quincy money and a trust fund like his other sons. Quincy got money from Diddy the same way Justin and King Combs did. Right? Because he raised Quincy. So I'll be sure once he got older and pretty much his career was done, now he wants to rewrite history and say, oh, he got left out of so many things that had to do with Quincy, but it was actually his own fault, right? It's his own fault. So that's what's going on with him. I'll be sure y'all can go check out later on my video on No BS. I made a video going off on I'll be sure about this very same thing. So ain't nobody thinking about I'll be sure, man. Y'all let me know, comment. Do you think I'm going too hard on I'll be sure? He's all in the documentaries still talking this subliminal stuff. You know what I mean? Trying to blame Diddy and then his kids, her kids has already come out and said, her own kids have come out and said there was no foul play. I don't know why people still keep saying that. There was no foul play. All right. Now, let's go to this. So Chloe has unfollowed Burna Boy. Now, I don't know whether she's just mad. I don't know what that situation is. But it was just not even a month ago when she was, love you, love you, love you. And she's gazing up in his eyes like, oh, he's just so dreamy. And everything he's doing, she's laughing at. Oh my God, you're just too much. Oh my God, you are so cute. Oh my God, you're so funny. Love you. Right? So Chloe's going all up and down about this Burna Boy dude. Right? Now, mind you, isn't Burna Boy the same? Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. But wasn't Burna Boy the same one that Don Steph Ladon and Party's latest girlfriend was arguing over? Let me know if I'm correct, or was that Wiz Kid or somebody else? But I could have sworn Burna Boy was the same guy that Steph Ladon and what's the girl's name? Jada Kingdom. Wasn't that the guy they were arguing over? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all remember that, if that is the truth, or put a 2 if you don't remember it. But I could have sworn it was Burna Boy. Y'all let me know. Right? Okay. So, as we all know, we saw Chloe out at Burna Boy's house, and he was putting her on display. But this is what she had to say. Hold on. This is what she had to say, man. Her name is Sophia, and let me tell you something. Whew! She is a banger. She bad. Now she's not Chloe, right? Because you know Chloe Bailey is Chloe Bailey. But this chick, if we strip down the names and we strip down what they both do, and we just put them next to each other, just woman face and body versus woman face and body, this chick is.
So the next time we hung out, I went home with him and all of that. We're already talking after, like, obviously, Burna and I were talking, because Alma had sent him my number.
Mm-hmm.
One of the days she was trying to reach me,
I
and
love
I wasn't
her
picking up.
accent.
So I got my number from her and started trying to reach me himself.
Yeah.
And well, that's how eventually I agreed to see him. After the club, we now went home and all of that. I'm just like, whatever happens. We knocked and all of that.
Chat if y'all can hear it.
Sold me a lot of dreams and all of that. I was like, oh, no problem. Like, he can be like one of my guys. He's know how to code it. I'll be getting money from him. He should do his own things. I have my own relationship.
Exactly.
That's how. When that morning I wanted to leave, he was like, oh, don't go. I'm like, no, I'm going. I went back home and all. The next thing, he never called. He texted me, oh my God, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, wahala. I want to pay for my car like this week, please. Like, what's going on? He's like, oh, trust me, I'm coming to Lagos on Thursday or whatever. We'll see when I come. That Thursday, which he didn't come to Lagos, he didn't say anything. I just blocked him. That was the day I even paid for my car. I blocked him. Now, fast forward to like, okay, he now came back to Lagos after I paid for my car. Obviously, Amma is saying money, right? So me, I'm like, I'm hanging on money because it's your boyfriend. I don't want any situation where when I said Burna is ready to give me my money for my car that he promised me and all of that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about it, like, Amma knew about this the whole time. You're seeing Manny. Manny is Burna's best friend. If Manny had spoken to Amma, if Amma had put pressure, like, no, it was me who were calling the whole time, and he promised my friend this one, and all of a sudden he just like didn't do what he promised my friend, and all of that. Like, if Amma was telling Manny, like, nah, that's not nice, you know, but Manny would have actually spoken to Burna and said, like, bro,
Of course.
they're best friends, like, bro, like, no, be like that now. At least find something, like, you know. That she blocks you because of this now. Like, do you understand? Like, she blocks you because of this. Like, you know, if you had done this, people should have, you know, speak like the truth. They both completely removed themselves from the issue. After they were the ones that were blowing up my phone, I didn't say anything because at the end of the day, I'm like, it's not when I met Burna I started bullying. I bought my watch. I know Amma must have gone to go and tell me I bought my watch. I bought my car. Burna was telling Manny that, oh, he saw it on the blogs. I bought my car. That's also like, recently, like, okay, so like last week, you know, Burna flew in one girl like that, one called Chloe.
Yeah, I saw it. Yes.
Okay, to Lagos. So yeah, Amma was telling me, oh, Chloe is even coming to Lagos. Burna wants to do one dinner thing for her. Yo, like, Shebi said you was going to buy my Lambo. She buy my Lambo.
She's the one that made him not buy you that Lambo. Let me just tell
I'm
you.
just thinking about it. I'm just like, if you actually like were
your friends,
no way I wouldn't have gotten something from that.
Exactly.
Like, you would have actually told your guy, like, yo, that's not nice. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's not a good look, like, for your guy. Like, why would you promise? Is that how you...
And he would have just even taken you so serious.
I just feel like, wicked. Just because of I'm hanging out with you that you actually feel like you can... I'm not a regular babe.
Like, you're not...
So, that is pretty much... You heard Sophia pretty much explain the situation. I heard the entire thing. So she basically was going out to the club. She's known out in the clubs or whatever. Burna Boy reached out to her friend Amma. I happen to know Amma. Shout out to Amma. He reached out to her friend Anna. Amma then said to Sophia that Burna is interested in you, what have you. Burna wants your number, such and such, right? Now, this Sophia chick who has a dude at home, I don't know whether she has a husband or whether she has just a boyfriend, but she had a situation at home. At first, she did not really give in to Burna Boy, whatever. But then when she kept seeing him out at the club, he asked, when he went out to the club and saw her the first time, he said he wanted to go home with her. She said no. Then she went back to her house, whatever. Then he kept reaching out to her friend Amma. The girl gives Burna Boy Sophia's number. She ends up seeing him again. She then says, oh, you know, she was talking about a Lambo. He then says, oh, if you wanted a Lambo, you should have just asked me because I would have bought you a Lambo, the second and third, right? So she's like, yeah, right. You're probably just talking. He goes, I would have bought you a Lambo, right? So then the friend Amma or whatever who used to mess with Burna Boy, she says that he bought another girl a Lambo. So she's telling Sophia, yeah, he bought another girl a Lambo, so he probably would buy you one. So then he, once again, she runs into him. And then she said this time she went home with him. And she said, well, you know, I figured that, you know, he could just be one of my guys. You know, she had a man and I can get money from him from time to time. And I got my own stuff. He got his own stuff. And it won't be any sorts of connection or whatever. So then she said that they pretty much smashed or whatever. And then he, as Pam said in the chat, he pretty much ghosted after that. And she was calling him like, yo, bro, I'm my Lambo. Right? So she said he must have blocked her or wasn't talking to her. So she went out and got the Lambo. And then she was like, well, since he promised me the Lambo, I'm going to go to him for the reimbursement because you said you were going to buy me a Lambo, right? If I hung out with you or whatever the case may be, you're going to buy me a Lambo. So he was basically like, I ain't saying no Lambo, no Lambo, no. You ain't with me. No, not get Lambo. So Burna Boy basically made a song saying, no Lambo, Lambo. And I get you no Lambo. Is that why you mad? You know, like he went and made a song, basically said, you mad because I pretty much smashed and promised you a Lambo because I was just telling you what you wanted to hear, right? And now that I got the cakes, I'm not getting you no Lambo, child, right? So because she told him her price if he can't afford it. So some girl says, hey, Burna Boy took advantage of Sophia because she told him her price. If he cannot afford it, he should leave it for those who can afford it. And that was a girl named Angela or Corey. So the way that they blast Sophia, dance her to show the mileage of her car, send warning to Davido Wizkid. Okay. Anyway, you got guys blasting Sophia. I'm gonna understand. They said told her price. She said, Burna Boy promised to buy me a Lamborghini, and immediately he slept with me. He stopped replying to my texts. 20-year-old Sophia cries bitterly and collapsed after she finished connecting parts with Burna, and he failed to keep his promise. So she's 20? And what's Burna Boy, like 37? I think he's like 37. Yeah, so she is in a relationship, right? So Burna Boy responded. Hold on. Boy responded. And the whole thing with Chloe is they say that Chloe unfollows Burna Boy. So Chloe unfollowed Burna Boy after he scammed women out of sex. According to the leaked audios, Sophia was left fuming after the Afrobeat superstar allegedly reneged on his promise to buy her Lamborghini after she had already slept with him. And this is what he had to say. Let's go to Burna Boy. Y'all hit the like button. Smash that like button. Come in the door, please. Hold on. Let me see what he said. I think this was his response. Hold on. If not, I'll find his response.
Over him and all of that. We're already talking.
No. We already heard her say that. So I'm going to find Burna Boy's response to her. Because we already heard her side of the story. Right? She basically told,
Burna and I were talking like,
Yeah.
hold on. She basically told her friend, you know, what it was. She got promised a Lambo and he reneged on it. You know, that sounds like a you problem. I ain't even gonna lie. That sounds like a you problem, sis. You know, if you know this dude, and then she said, "Oh, you know, I went out to Lagos before Chloe, but the reason why I didn't want to continue to hang out with him is because his security was saying, yeah, give me your phone. There's no phones allowed." And she said, I hung out with Weezy and he never once asked me for his phone. And who does Burna think he is that he's asking for phones? She's like, bro, I don't need to hang out with you that much. I hung out with Weezy and he never once asked for my phone, right? So let's see. We all know that Burna Boy like came back with some sort of response where he was singing about the Lambo and how she's mad because, oh man, Kyrie Irving season cut short with a torn ACL. Wow, 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 wow. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. So we're gonna get into this. I gotta make sure I keep my eye on the time so I get into Drake and Jay-Z. So I'm not gonna spend too much more time on this is the Sophia girl. Whew, I don't know, man. I don't know whether she not. I don't know what. I haven't seen her back, so I don't know whether she got a BBL. That don't even look like she got a BBL. It don't even look. It looks like her ass is flat, actually, but I can't really see the back. But she's a pretty girl. Here goes this fool.
To DK, man. Cholo.
Here he goes.
No do. Mo sha so fun. If you not getting me, forget about it. I know by Lambo.
Hey,
is that why I shout? Them day,
hey,
them
hey.
now they see them.
That's it. I gotta hear that again.
To DK, man.
That shit is dope. That's a hit.
Cholo. No do.
Hey.
No do. Mo sha so fun. If you not getting me, forget about it. I know by Lambo. Is that why I shout? Them day, yeah. Them day, now they see them. Yeah.
Hey, that's a bop.
To DK, man.
So basically, if you're not getting me, forget about
Cholo.
it. If I'm not responding,
No do.
take the hit. Basically, that's what he's saying. If I'm not responding to you, take the hint. Ho, I ain't trying to respond. Pam said she should have took that to the grave. Or, yeah, you're supposed to get that Lambo first. You know what I mean? You're supposed to get that Lambo first, sis. He gonna show you that he gonna get the Lambo. You're like, hey. Or you know what? You be like, listen, we gonna be up in here. I'll give you the kissing. You know what I mean? I'll give you kissing to see what you about. She may even said, you know what? She should have just said, I'll kiss you. We can kiss. We can mess around. I might let you finger pop me. But then after you get a little taste of it, now you're going to have to send a Lambo. If you want the whole thing, you're going to have to send a Lambo. That's what she should have did. She should have said, okay, I'll hang out with you. I'll be seen with you. You might even get the second base. I might let you finger pop. You can sniff your finger. I'll even let you sniff your finger afterwards. But then after that, right, trick or treat. Like he said, trick or treat. right? So she played her cards wrong. And then, yeah, you buy the Lambo and said, oh, I could buy my own Lambo. Well, then why didn't you do that from the beginning? Why did you do it from the beginning? You know what I mean? So, anyway, Chloe unfollowed him, and we haven't seen Chloe back with him. She put up a comment like, everything's working out for me. Now, I don't know whether she's still going to be with Burna. I think she probably just took a break. She's probably upset. Why Chloe didn't release music while she was with him? Right. She should have did a record with him. Instead of being in his music video, she was making little songs talking about their situation, whatever. But Chloe, like, old girl was like, yeah, he flew Chloe in. Like Chloe was just some chick that he flies in. Like he flies all girls in. He flew in that one girl, Chloe. So, girl, is that your man or not? Or if he's just somebody you sitting there talking about I love you. So that's just not somebody you kicking it with. And remember, he had Chloe on a pedestal. He was claiming her. She was eating at his house. He had her all on video, had her in a music video. Right? Crazy. And of course, here goes Drake liking his Lambo style. Drake know good and damn well he gonna hit that girl up. Drake know he gonna probably in that girl DM right now. Like, I'll get you a Lambo. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out if Chloe is still with Burna Boy. I said from the beginning I didn't like that. I didn't like him as a, Chloe seemed like she needs somebody calm, right? Burna Boy's out there. You know what I'm saying? He's out there, man. And he's got different girls every time you turn around. He's one of them dudes that a lot of people, so like Emma's my friend, like I'm chill with Emma, and she's been knowing Burna Boy a long time, and she was like, yeah, when Burna was in high school and junior high school like that, he didn't really get girls like that, right? So that happens to a lot of guys when they aren't used to getting females, and then they get money. People like Sean Kingston. Who's really fucking Sean Kingston if he wasn't famous, right? At one time, they said Malaya Michelle was like his girl. Like, is Malaya Michelle someone that looks like Malaya Michelle, right? Is she really going to be smashing Sean Kingston if he wasn't famous? Absolutely not, right? So guys like that are not used to having girls, they're going to use that money to their advantage, right? Right? No, Aubrey a trick. Aubrey will trick. And dude, the thing about the whole thing about men or whatever is some trick a little, some trick a lot. But they all trick if they getting pussy. Like, man, this is not like back in the day, right? Now, if you want a girl from around the hood and she is just some old stank project girl with no sorts of substance, ain't going nowhere, ain't been nowhere, yeah, you can get those type of girls without tricking. But you ain't getting no woman of no substance if you don't give something. You got to give something. There is no woman of any substance that's giving you cakes for nothing, absolutely nothing, just because she liked the way you look. That is not happening. That ain't happening, not in 2025. Not in 2025. It used to be like that. You used to didn't have to have no money. You used to didn't have to have anything. And you can pull a bad chick. Like I can think back in the day, right? With my sister when she dated this guy named Ronnie. He was like 14 or whatever. And Ronnie was able to pull my sister, who was a very pretty girl, God bless the dead. And he didn't have no money or nothing like that, right? But nowadays, people are way different than what they used to be. And because social media plays a big part in it, and people look at women on social media and they see guys flying girls out and buying them Chanel bags, and they start thinking that that's the standard. Like, you have to give me something if I'm going to come chill with you. Right? Which in this day and age, a man should understand. So don't say, oh, hell no, I ain't tricking on nobody. Yeah, and you're probably not getting pussy. At least not quality pussy. And city girl mentality. Yeah, that's what I just said, Pam. Social media started that. And it wasn't even the city girls. I get you what you said about city girl mentality. But even before the city girls, like, it pretty much started around the time where I'm going to say mid 2000s, where girls started making it known, when girls started getting surgery, right? And start, oh, I need money for my surgery. Remember, it first started out, I mean, men have always bought bags and shit like that. But then for a period of time, once women started getting surgeries, even black women, remember when black women were like, they're all getting surgery to try to look like us. We don't need a surgery because we're naturally curvy. But then black women started doing it too. It started with the tummy tucks. Then they started getting the boob jobs, and they started getting the ass. You know what I mean? So then it was like, oh, can you pay for my surgery? So men has always bought bags and gifts and whatever. But it used to just be, okay, you're going to trick on her on her birthday. You're going to trick on her on Valentine's Day and trick on her on Christmas. It used to never be, oh, just randomly, whenever to hang out with you, you have to have a gift when I arrive. I don't never remember shit being like that back in the day. Right. No handheld walks in the park. You know what I'm saying? They call that simping. You see that sexy 60? Like, men don't like doing that anymore because now that you're called a simp. If you're courting a girl, or if you're saying, I'm down on my knees, begging you, please come home. If you're doing that now, when women used to love that in the 90s, right? Women used to love that. Now, oh, he's saying to me, oh, if you do that now, oh, you're a simp. So now dudes are looked upon as simps. Oh, he's simping. Look at all of the heat that Russell Wilson takes for just treating Sierra like a woman. Right? For just treating Sierra like a woman. Treating Sierra not like how Future treated her. Look at what he gets called on a daily basis. A simp, a sucker, a trick. Every day, like men, instead of like men used to look like, oh man, you know, he got Sierra. You know what I mean? Women used to love men that treated them like that. I even see some women calling Russell Wilson a simp. I'm like, wow. I thought that's what women liked. But there's even some women saying, I couldn't be with him. He too clingy. He's just too much of a simp. You know? So that's why most men these days don't do that anymore. You don't see men singing to women anymore. You don't see them serenading women. You barely see them getting on their knees and proposing, and because people say, you know, or playing slow songs, dedicating songs to them, and because he a simp. He a simp. Look at Russell Wilson. He's a simp. You know what I mean? So that's mainly why you don't see it anymore, right? But we'll see what happens with Chloe and Burna Boy. I hope she's done with him, but we will see. Now, let's go into this. Drake and iHeart teaming up. Is that what's going on? Hold on, let me fix this. I tried to fix this from trying my best not to invest in another computer, but it looks like that's what's going to have to happen. Because for the amount of stuff I have on this computer, it has just turned out to be too slow. So I can't stand people. Oh, did Jay just make the big mistake? Why would he make the big? Why is that? Is Jay-Z fighting back the biggest mistake of his life? I can't stand these people. These people want Jay-Z to make a mistake. So no, it's not a mistake. No, it is not. The Jay-Z is too smart for that. What do you think? No, that's not no big mistake, because because she came out and said it wasn't true, you still got to prove that it happened. And she has no evidence. None whatsoever. So even if she goes and testifies, they're going to say, okay, where is the evidence? Where's the evidence? You just talking but everything you're saying is inconsistent. Where's the evidence? I can't stand T-Says. I cannot wait. I can't wait until the day that Jay-Z and Iro and all them sue Tisa Tells. I can't wait. And Murad Morali. I can't wait until they're hit with lawsuit papers. Jaguar Wright. It's the other one. I can't wait until they hit with lawsuit papers. So Drake and iHeart came to a settlement, right? Drake and iHeartRadio came to a settlement. Now, at first, people were saying, oh, Drake must be on to something. Especially all the Drake fans. They went running saying, I told you so, and Drake was right from the beginning, right? But what they failed to realize was there was no payment. All right. There was no payment. Right. They don't even want to dance. Exactly. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. Make sure if you have not hit the like button, please make sure you go hit the like button to push this stream through the algorithm, please. I have some chest pains that I don't understand what is going on. But, man. So, let's look at this. Drake, iHeartRadio. So if you don't know by now, Drake and iHeart settled. But they did not settle for an amount of money. If you remember, this was not a lawsuit, right? It's not a lawsuit, but it was iHeart dropping out. They made a statement back on February 28th. We are pleased that the parties were able to reach a settlement satisfactory to both sides and have no further comment on this. So people took that. I believe they were trying to gaslight anyway. iHeart declined the Associated Press request for comment right after this happened. Now, what Drake's people, because I got that from OVO, what Drake's people was trying to do was gaslight everybody into thinking that, they paid a settlement because they must know something's wrong. Right? They must know something's wrong. So there was a statement put out about this iHeart settlement where there was no money exchanged, right? Drake decided that iHeart didn't have anything to do with this, right? Didn't have anything to do with it. So they got removed from the lawsuit. Now, Drake doubled down that UMG paid iHeart. He doubled down on it, right? There are reports that Drake dropped iHeart from his legal petition in Texas over Not Like Us because of a private settlement, but there's what actually happened via iHeart's official statement. And you know this girl, she does not like Drake, right? Lauren, the brown girl grinding, Lauren LaRosa, she's a Kendrick stan. She does not like Drake. So Drake dropped iHeart from their suit after we agreed to provide them emails showing that we were not engaged in any of the actions we were accused of. So that is what iHeart said. That was their response. But now Drake has doubled down in accusing UMG and saying that UMG paid iHeart as well. Now it looks as though iHeart is going to be teaming up with Drake. And they're going to admit that UMG paid them. This is crazy. Right? So, hold on. Drake is uplifted past collaborating, slamming and 1 2. Okay, hold on, y'all. I want to find the from today, the actual lawsuit from today, because it's actually basically saying that Drake is doubled down on his claims that UMG paid iHeart. Now, this comes after what happened at the Oscar Awards, at the Academy Awards. Unbelievable. Right? Drake's legal team doubled down. Here it is. So Drake's legal team has doubled down on claims that UMG engaged in unlawful efforts to turn Not Like Us into a viral mega hit with a newly submitted 26-page motion for discovery. A deposition of a UMG representative, max 4 hours, on Not Like Us, promotion tactics, UMG's agreements with iHeartRadio streaming services and Texas-based radio stations, promotional deals with influencers, methods for boosting social media engagement, including bots, financial transaction with Texas-based entities, and UMG's overall business presence in Texas. Documents on UMG's Not Like Us promotion strategy, financial records tied to licensing and revenue in Texas, contracts with Texas-based entities, employees, presence in Texas, and all meetings held in Texas since January 1st, 2024, when Not Like Us, Drake, or Kendrick Lamar was discussed. So, and as we all know, last night on the Oscars, or the night before, whenever it was, Sunday night, Conan O'Brien came up and made a joke about Drake being a PDF in the middle of for the whole world to see on the Oscars. So that now means the Super Bowl, the Grammys, the ESPYs, and now the Oscars all made jokes about Drake being a PDF without any knowledge, without any proof, without any evidence. But because they feel that everybody is dancing and making fun of Kendrick Lamar's song, making fun of Drake with Not Like Us, they feel comfortable in saying that Drake is now a PDF. And that is sad that they feel comfortable doing that. Unbelievable. Let me see if I can find Conan O'Brien, who now the Oscars are now trying to pass the buck because they know they're going to probably be in trouble trying to be cute and trying to involve themselves in this, right? The Oscars, Drake. So now the people at the Oscars are saying, we didn't want to do it. We didn't want to do it, but the producers pushed. And this is what people are saying. How is calling Drake a pedophile at the Oscars not absolutely effing insane? Hollywood protected celebrities who had multiple victims actually come forward. Drake had 0 accusations. How is this even okay? The same room where people did not say anything about Roman Polanski winning an Oscar in 2020 Epstein's list with most Hollywood actors' name on it. But it is Drake they want to focus on and call a PDF. Now, this dude is who they say wrote the joke. Some dude named Skylar Haile. Skylar writing a cringe joke about Drake shouldn't be shocking. He's made cringe jokes for months now. Even Drake should harm himself. Even joking, Drake should harm himself. Trivialization of pedophilia is not okay, especially at the expense of someone who has never been accused of it. Here's Conan O'Brien. This was the joke.
Which means it's time for Kendrick Lamar to come out and call Drake a pedophile. Don't worry, I'm lawyered up.
So,
Well, we're halfway through the show, which means it's time for Kendrick Lamar to come out and call Drake a pedophile.
wow.
Don't worry, I'm lawyered up.
So he said, don't worry, I'm lawyered up, because he knew
Well,
He
we're
knew
halfway through the show.
that was going to get backlash, right? He knew that was going to get backlash. That's why he said it. Yeah, I know the settlement was without money, Denise. I know it was without money. I said that. It was no money exchange. The beef made rap fun again, but the constant crying a year later from stands on both sides is tired. I'm over it. I mean, and to me, I'll be honest with you, I would disagree on one thing. To me, the beef was fun after the LA 116. But then after that, I was like, it's not fun anymore. After Drake did push-ups and then his the song, the Tupac song with Tupac as AI, and then Kendrick came back with Euphoria, right? And I guess it was called 6 a.m. in LA or whatever it's called, 616 LA. Okay, I was cool on that. But then with the Meet the Grams and I wasn't cool. At that point, I was like, okay, now it's starting to go too far. You got one guy accusing one guy of being a PDF and a deadbeat, still got with more kids. Then you got one other guy talking about those kids might not be yours and you was a woman beater. So when it started getting to that, I'm like, I thought it was corny. But everybody else was thinking, oh, yeah, this is good for rap. Well, Jay-Z and Nas was probably the best beef ever. And the deepest that went was, I left condoms in your baby seat. Right? Now, of course, Nas did throw innuendos that Jay-Z was gay. That this Gay-Z and Rockefeller Records want to be. I mean, that's cool because Jay-Z said the same thing about Nas. You the fag model for Carl Kanai Esco ads. Right? So that was cool. But even when it came to the part when Nas mentioned Foxy Brown, he didn't say, oh, you were sleeping with Foxy Brown as a minor, or, oh, you're a pedo because you were sleeping with Foxy Brown. He didn't say anything like that. He just mentioned Foxy by name and said Foxy got you hot because you kept your face on her puss. He never said nothing about her being a child, her being 16, her being 50. He didn't say none of that, right? None of them made PDF accusations. To me, that's going a little too far because of the climate that we're in. That's the only reason I'm saying that. Because of the climate that you're in. And you know what happens when people and trafficking. People get triggered by it. Right? People get triggered by it. And that's what happened with the thing with the house. That's what happened with Pizzagate. People got triggered by Pizzagate and went and called themselves being a vigilante and going to North Carolina and going to free the kids. Not even knowing whether there was kids really there or not. But since they saw it on the internet, oh, they hiding children there. Obama and Hillary Clinton. Oprah Winfrey, they're hiding kids in there. The Democrats. So I'm going to go and make my presence felt. And then you wind up going to North Carolina with a gun and ain't even no kids. Ain't nothing there but pizza. So I get it. And I don't take that very lightly because, again, Kendrick Lamar, to me, tried to use the fact that he was in a rap battle to use that to say, well, we're in a rap battle. No, not in the landscape that we're in now. If he had did this in 2000, maybe, right? Because people, before social media, like how Nas said that Jay-Z was Gay-Z or whatever, that was before social media. If Kendrick Lamar had did this before social media, maybe it would be okay. But things change. As you see, you can't even use the same words now that you used back then. You can't use the F words. Jay-Z said, use the F model for Carl Kanai, Esco ads in his rap song. But he couldn't say the F word now. They cancel him. So things change. You cannot call someone nowadays a PDF. I don't care if it's a rap battle or not. Because people are going to take that to heart. People are going to take that to heart. And then you wind up with situations like you winded up. Oh, Kendrick said that he's got a bunch of sex offenders living in that house. We live on this street. We're not going to have no sex offenders living on this block. So then you start getting people going over there trying to be a vigilante, and they're going to take matters into their own hands. That's why you can't do that nowadays. And what happened? He ended up getting gunshots through his door. And like I said, imagine if Drake was standing in the doorway. And they yelling, F Drake, F all pedos. Now you thinking this man is a PDF because why? Because Kendrick Lamar said it. And they're allowing him to push this narrative without anybody checking him, except Drake fans. So people start to believe that it's true. And nowadays you don't need any proof. Look at the Jay-Z case. So I wasn't feeling the whole thing. I wasn't feeling the whole, certified lover boy, certified. And then on top of that, you see it turns out that all his crew, 2 or 3 of them, now done got sued. But because it ain't on TV, because the whole world ain't saying it, everybody just forgot about that. Nobody cares about that. They just care about Drake and the false accusations. Right, Pam, and I agree with you. But these people aren't looking at it like that. I'm telling you, we living with a bunch of weirdos. This what social media has produced a bunch of weirdos. Social media and the country that we in the United States, because they don't act like that in other countries. Social media in the United States have created this narrative that it's okay to call him that as long as other people on social media is calling him that. Right? So that's the thing with that. Should Nicki Minaj do a reggae rap album? Would Nicki Minaj fans be here for it? This question was asked on social media. And needless to say, most of her fans that I saw on social media all was saying no. And you just have to wonder, if it's Nicki Minaj's music, why wouldn't you want to hear it? If you're a Nicki Minaj fan, why not? So I asked some people, if Nicki Minaj made a reggae rap album, would y'all be here for it? And most people said no. And then other people called it coconut music. We don't want that coconut music. And I said, wow. But there are people that, and I've seen people, and I can't even say, well, nah, these ain't real Nicki fans, because these are people who have Nicki Onika in their name, in their profile, and Jesus. So Nicki Minaj dropped 2 tracks, bringing it back to her Trinidadian roots. Pure soca energy. The queen has always uplifted Caribbean culture, and she's doing it again with Eskimo Remix and Carry It. Stream Carry It, the remix. This girl said, no shade, I wouldn't mind a full Caribbean album. Nicki did say certain beats make certain voices that we love. I'm here for it. This person says, some of y'all hate it, but I love to listen to Nicki's dancehall reggae album. Right? But a lot of people are not here for this. They're saying no. A lot of people are so caught up on this charting and Nicki making the girls bow down, and they feel as though here are the edgy baboons are at it again, complaining about potential new Nicki music. Let's not forget her 2023 reign kicked off in Trinidad with that Carnival track, followed by the iconic Red Ruby to Sleaze. 2025 is about to be another legendary year. So I really don't see any problem if Nicki Minaj wants to do a reggae rap album. Like, what is really the problem? I'm still not understanding her fan base. or at least the ones that are complaining, I really don't understand what the problem is. Right? If the girl wants to make, or the woman wants to make a reggae album, for Christ's sakes, let her make a reggae album. I don't understand. It's your fave. Why you should be happy that she's putting out music. Now, if you get the music and you don't like it, fine, don't play it. Right? But you at least, as a fan, got to give it a chance. Right? You got to at least give it a chance. You just can't be like, oh, don't nobody want to hear that. Nobody want to hear that coconut shit. You know what I mean? So I would definitely be here for a Nicki Minaj rap reggae album. It's be something different. I don't really know when the last time or if ever anyone's ever done that. So I would definitely be here for it. And we're going to close this out with Jay-Z sues Jane Doe. Now, the Jane Doe has now come out and said, oh, she stands by her statements, but she's dropping the case. She dropped the case not because she don't stand by her statements, but because Jay-Z sent people to her home to threaten her, and she's afraid of the backlash from Jay-Z fans, which most of the people online was against Jay-Z, so I don't know where she gets that from. A lot of these YouTubers and bloggers was hoping it was true. They're against Jay-Z. So I don't know where she gets off saying that. But here we go. Megan Cuniff, and we're going to go to her. She reported that Jay-Z is suing Jane Doe and suing Tony Busby. Jay-Z's accuser, lawyer sued the accuser of false accusations. Here's a new lawsuit, right? A new lawsuit said the woman who accused Jay-Z of rape voluntarily admitted that her claim was false and influenced by Tony Busby. Tony Busby, of course, answered back saying that's a lie, right? Saying that the woman never admitted to that. Okay. Hold on. So let me read what Megan Cuniff said. And again, like we said, the woman has now come out. Well, not the woman. Tony Busby came out and said, none of this was true. She never admitted to anything. It's just another attempt to bully her, and they've been harassing this woman for months, even though he didn't say that before. Trying to get her to recant her story, right? But it's come out that the woman has now, prior to the lawsuit, filed 3 other sexual assault lawsuits that all got dismissed by the judge. or dropped. Right? So three lawsuits all got dropped that this so-called victim filed. Now, does that mean it's not true what she filed? No, it doesn't mean that. But it really don't look good for her either. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't look good that she filed previous lawsuits of similar caliber, and all of them got dismissed. Right? So that definitely is not a good thing. Jay-Z basically says that investigators went to her home and she admitted that Tony Busby forced her into filing this lawsuit. A new lawsuit says the woman who accused Jay-Z of voluntarily admitted her claims influenced by plaintiff Tony Busby. But Busby's lawyer said the woman still maintains the rapper and billionaire business mogul attacked her at a party in 2000 when she was 13. And they filed a declaration from her that says she dismissed her lawsuit only because of fear. The woman said two investigators working for Jay-Z's lawyers went to her home on February 21st and asked her to sign an affidavit of false claims, and she said she refused. They also asked me if Mr. Busby sought me out as a client and whether Mr. Busby ordered to pay me to pursue a false claim against Jay-Z. I told them neither of those happened. I then asked him to leave me alone, according to a declaration. Carter's new lawsuit, however, alleges Busby and his co-counsel, David Fortney, the woman from beginning to end, including by falsely, maliciously, and manipulatively telling the woman her lawsuit needed to be dismissed because Carter was threatening to kill her. In reality, they were desperate to withdraw the false case or face punishment in court, according to the 25-page complaint filed Monday. Carter's new lawsuit says the woman has made 3 other sexual assault allegations, which were either dropped or dismissed by the court. Right? So, the lawsuit has 4 cases of action: malicious prosecution, abuse of process, and civil conspiracy against the woman. Busby, Fortney, and Busby law firm in defamation against for statements made during a December 13th interview. The filing and the woman's declaration are the first indication that Busby's team dismissed the rape lawsuit against Carter and Sean Diddy Combs last month, not because of his merit, but because of procedural issues involving Busby's ability to practice law in the Southern District of New York. Carter's lawyers have said Busby avoided officially appearing as a lawyer in the case to avoid possible sanctions for his lack of investigation into the credibility of the woman's claims. The judge assigned the case, U.S. District Judge Analisa Torres, on January 28th, ordered Busby to file proof of his admission to the SDNY, Southern District of New York, by February 14th. Busby applied for admission the next day, but he was rejected on February 13th, moved to dismiss the lawsuit the next day. Now, according to Carter's new lawsuit, Fortney, who works at Busby's firm in Houston, traveled to Alabama on February 13th to meet with the woman. it anonymizes her as Jane Doe and says Carter first became aware of Doe's identity on or around February 21st and has never met or interacted in any way with Doe. During that meeting, Fortney falsely, maliciously, and manipulatively told Doe that the case against Mr. Carter needed to be dismissed, as Mr. Carter has made threats against Doe's life, and it was too dangerous to continue with the case. Of course, no such threats was ever made, according to the complaints. Rather, Busby and Fortney were desperate to withdraw the false case or face punishment in court for those actions and filing a case pleading with Busby even being admitted into the SDNY, jeopardizing their ability to continue with more than 20 other cases they had pending. So what it looks like to me is Jay-Z and Jay-Z's lawyers are saying that Busby was desperate to drop the case. So he goes and tells the woman, the alleged accuser, that, hey, we can't continue with this because Jay-Z has made a threat on your life and it's too dangerous. Telling the woman that Jay-Z made a threat on her life and that prompts her to drop it. But Jay-Z's lawyers are saying no threats never happened. And he's only doing it to try to save face. Like, my goodness. We're going to see what happens with this, man. I'm kind of leaning to Jay-Z's side like I always have, because due to the main fact of they have no evidence. They have not one piece of evidence. They traveled and nothing was said between the father and the daughter, even after traveling 5 hours and 47 minutes. They don't have a residence that matches close by. Diddy didn't own any residence that match. Jay-Z was filmed at another location. Diddy was filmed at another location. The Madden brothers were not there. You know what I mean? So how can I take her serious when she doesn't have not one thing that matches? You can't. Plus all the other things going on with Busby. He's got a bad reputation. The girl filed lawsuits that were dismissed. Earlier sexual assault lawsuits. So judging from what I'm seeing, Jay-Z should be in good shape. He should be in good shape. As long as the judge or somebody don't jerk him just from this girl's work. Have some proof. Take the polygraph test first. That should be the first thing. Take the poly. With no people judging. And then we'll go from there. So y'all let me know what y'all think about all this stuff. It's an ongoing. We're going to see what the response back from Jay-Z. Y'all let me know, do you believe Jay-Z or do you believe the Jane Doe? I'm tending to lean toward Jay-Z right now because Jane Doe just does not have any evidence at all. I'd say if she had one or two pieces of evidence, but she doesn't have any. She doesn't have any. So I'm not one that say, oh, you got to believe victims. No, because victims lie. I was falsely accused of one before. Remember the guy on the Los Angeles Dodgers? Recently, Trevor, somebody. This dude got accused of rape and his whole career is ruined. Then they found out later on that the girl was lying. They can't, Trevor Bauer, now they can't go back to him and say, sorry, you want to come back on the team? No, it doesn't work that way. So if you're going to accuse somebody of something so egregious, my opinion is you should have to have proof of evidence, or else you should face the same punishment that you wanted to give this person. And then I guarantee you people will stop doing it. All right, y'all. That's it for today. Make sure you'll follow the channel No BS. Make sure you follow the IE Network. Subscribe to my videos. And we're gonna catch y'all on the next one. Remember the Cash App is $Heaven Hollywood. If you want to support the movement, support the channel. All right, man. And of course, follow me on Twitch, follow me on TikTok, and of course, sub to the IE network. All right, y'all. No BS is the channel on YouTube. The other channel, just type in Jaguar Wright, No BS. You'll see my video and you can sub me from there. I want to thank everybody for joining me. Special thanks to Pam. All right. I want to shout out someone that sent me this information first on Twitter. Shout out to my girl, Butterfly Mika. Shout out to Mika, who let me know that Jay-Z was suing immediately, right? She's the first one to let me know about it. So shout her out. Definitely shout her out. All right, man. That's it for y'all. That's it for me. I'll catch you on the next one. This has been another installment of the Heaven Hollywood Experience. Thank y'all.
Don't you forget about me.